Welcome to the Health and Wealth Power Hour, the podcast that provides you with the knowledge and insights you need to achieve physical, mental, and financial well-being. I'm your host, Harlon, a business consultant who's passionate about helping people achieve a more balanced and healthier life. Each week, we'll deep dive into topics related to health and wealth, including retirement income planning, innovative healthcare solutions, alternative funded health plans, and specific actions individuals and business owners can take to gain control of their finances, have access to affordable quality health care, and achieve peace of mind. We'll also be joined by innovative experts who will share their knowledge and insights on prevalent topics. So, whether you're looking to grow your wealth or improve your health, you've come to the right place. Get ready to be informed, inspired, and empowered. Let's get started. All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Health and Wealth Power Hour. My name is Harlon Pickett. I am your host. Great to have you with us today. We have got one of the most unique shows that I have ever had the honor of hosting. Today is all about free money. That's right. Man, I wish I had one of those echo voices here. Free money. Well, I kind of did it, but it really wasn't that very good. Today, we have a gentleman known as the #1 expert in grants in the United States of America. He is Mr. Matthew Lesko. You may have seen him on various different news shows and across. You might have even watched an infomercial with him on there, like the Pillow Guy or someone like that, except he was trying to get you free money. Matthew, welcome aboard the Health and Wealth Power Hour. Great to have you with us, buddy.
Thank you so much. A wonderful introduction. You want to do the Academy Awards or something?
It probably wouldn't last very long. I don't know, man. They might get pretty quick. I might have some comments they might not like. We kind of, like we just talked about just a minute ago before we actually started recording this thing. Well, man, I'll tell you, whenever I got I won't say invitation, the request for you to be on the show, and I read a little bit about you, man, I was pumped. I was pumped because, who doesn't like to hear about opportunities to get free money? And there's people out there in various different walks of life. What really struck me is it wasn't just about get some free money for your business or get some free money, if you've had this happen to you or this happen. No, it's kind of across all walks of life and all different circumstances that there are grants and free money out there for all these different things. And you're the guy that knows how to access that. So I'm like, this gentleman's got to be on there because the folks that listen to the Health and Wealth Power Hour, they need to get their free money.
Well, you get health and wealth. You're in both of them. Right.
That's it. Because you may need some for your health, and you need some for your wealth.
Exactly. Well, and it's also, there's two big things I think in life. One is, living expenses, and then money to do something you want to do with your life. And the problem I see after studying this for 50 years, and every year I say, oh, I'm wrong here, I'm wrong there. But it basically is we have two big slices of the United States. One is capitalism, which works very well, and other countries copy that and have brought more out of poverty, I think, than most other things, and that only represents about 2/3 of our economy is capitalism, and we have 1/3 of our economy that is more. I sort of see it as community. This is where people are helping people. They're not there to get paid. So like you and your neighbor, your neighbor house is on fire or something. Hey, I need money. I'll come and help you,
Right.
And so we have a community set up, and that's through nonprofits and churches even, and the government. So that's our community. But that's 1/3 of everything in our economy is that 1/3. So all they do is give services and money to people. So they never ask for money. And the problem is we know in our society, if we want to know about something, we go to Google. They ain't in Google. You never find them in Google. You'll find 200 million people want to get money from you for your problem. Everyone. And that you'll call a dozen of them up. And after that, well, geez, it looks like I have to have money to do anything. So what I'm trying to know, if you know this other section of our economy, you don't. They're given money to do all those things you were looking for, but you can't find them there. We're not trained to do that. And people hate the government. So, they'll call one office up and they don't have it. And they'll say, I can't get it, or
Right.
I call one office up for help and they say I make too much money. Now, let me show you. I stayed up last night when I was reading a report about money to pay utility bills. The government came out, Biden has a program, a year or two came out, and he had $8.5 billion to give out to help people get lower utility bills. But now the reality is, after they went and looked at the data, okay, this $8.4 billion, that I would think people who need help with utility bills are poor people, I would think, right? So, I mean, if you're rich or whatever, you usually have enough money to do that. Well, this 8.4 was under the Inflation Reduction Act. Remember that big thing? I don't know if there's a health stuff in that or not. But it was $8.4 billion for after the first year, the richest 25% got 5.5 billion out of the 8.4. So they got 60%. They see the rich, they're smart people. They know how to get this stuff.
Right.
And the middle 50% got about half of that. So this represents a 25% of the econ. The richest 25% got 65% of the money. The middle 50%, they got half of that. And the poorest 25%, which is like 30 grand or more or less, richest in this country, the top richest are 100 grand or more, and the middle is between 130 grand. So the poorest is 30 grand. So those poorest people got only less than $1 billion out of the 8. So they got less than 1%. So these are millionaires. Everybody above $100,000. So that's why people, what bothers me is they go and say, well, they call up an office or two, like rent. You're trying to get money to pay rent. You have a business, can't pay a rent or something like that. And you call up and say, oh no, you make too much money, we can't. But if you go, there's a website now, findhelp.org.
Find free or reduced cost resources like food, housing, financial assistance, healthcare, and more.
Put on the left-hand corner on top, put in your zip code.
Okay.
Everyone in this database is part of that giving economy. They're nonprofits or government. Nobody's going to ever ask you for money. Okay, so you put in your zip code. And how many does it say is in your zip code?
2,932 programs.
So you have 2,932 programs in your zip code that are giving out money on all those subjects. So let's go up to the search thing again and put in like rent. So you're looking for rent.
Okay. There's 108 different resources to help pay for housing.
Exactly, amazing. And that's people will call one or so. I mean, this is getting help like this is like looking for a job or getting a customer or anything. It's a numbers game, and you really have to go belly to belly to find out. You have to start calling people, asking them if they could help you. If they say no, then you ask them, who else do they think could help me? It's sort of like asking you, I know you're in the healthcare field and you know other people, instead of asking my neighbor, hey, where do I get this? They don't know shit. But somebody who helps people every day with healthcare, you want to talk to. So these are, every one of those 100 people are people trying to help people with rent problems. So they're the people you want to talk to and say, hey, this is my problem. Maybe you can't help me, but you probably could help me find out who may be able to help me. And that's what I'm trying to teach and get people to understand, that we have this section of society that wants to help people. And because of that, they're not going to kiss your ass like they will in Google. So you have to do that. You're the ass kisser, because that's the only power you have, is how nice you are to get them to help you more, and to appreciate help, because they could hang up on you and they get the same pay. It doesn't matter. I
Right.
mean, if you're miserable to them, they'll rather talk to somebody else and get to you. But if you're nice, they'd rather hang around with you instead of somebody else going to yell at them. So it's how do you learn to use that system? We've learned to do, uh, we learn to buy stuff. But let's go back, back one page on this, and let's put in, actually put on the tab healthcare. See what's there for you, because you know healthcare.
So there's 147 programs, including detox and drug testing, medications for addiction, outpatient treatment, uh, peer recovery coaching, residential treatments, substance abuse counseling. So there's a lot of different things. That's just on the top page. That's just addiction and recovery. There's
Right.
there's end of life care, health education, help pay for health care, medical care. There's tons. There's for medical care by itself. There's 733 different resources.
Yeah, this is what frustrates me. I can't get people to realize this, you know. Uh, and that's what keeps me going. I'm 81 now, and I feel about 10 more years, so maybe make a dent in this, but I doubt it. I'm gonna try. That the help is out there. Otherwise, people get pissed and nobody helped me, and they get depressed. And here are people, boy, they're getting paid to help you, but you don't know. You don't know how to deal with it, because nobody's training you, because nobody gets paid to do that. I thought the government, when I first started finding this, 50 years ago, I thought, boy, someday the government must be able to set up a place, because I found these stuff helping rich people. I mean, I had 2 businesses that failed, and then I said, "Nah, if you wanna earn money, help rich people. They pay." And I was helping Fortune 500 companies do things. They're buying companies, new markets, new opportunities. And so I was sort of like a researcher and finding them help. And I was in Washington, and I find all this stuff, man. Like a client of mine wanted to start a chain of pasta stores. I don't know anything about pasta. I barely graduated from college. And so in a few calls, I could find a bureaucrat at the Department of Agriculture who spends a career studying pasta. That's all he does. And he's getting paid 100 grand a year to do this. And the neat thing is, nobody knows he's there. So if you find somebody like this, and he's got all the latest information on anything you want to know about pasta, the problem isn't getting the information. The problem is getting out of his office. He's been studying this for 20 years, and finally somebody wanted to know something about it. So he'd show me money programs to do all this. I'd pack it up. I'd thank him on the introduction, put my name on the report, and send it to the Fortune 500 companies who would make billionaires out of millionaires with all this stuff I found them. And I said, God, why doesn't everybody know this? This is like oil in the ground, that nobody's digging out. You're sitting on it like in Texas. That's what really moves me to do this. And almost anything you have, it just frustrates me, but it's fun. Thank God I got something I think is worthwhile.
Yeah,
At least.
absolutely. So obviously the best part about a grant. So let's talk about grants in particular. My daughter is in college, and I really appreciate any grant that she gets.
The first thing, if your daughter's in college, the most important thing is your state. They have a state office of higher education, and there's
Okay.
all kind of programs just for people in your state, and you have to
Okay.
go there first. You also have to do is don't worry about applications. I mean, don't worry about grant writers or anything. That's you don't have to worry about it. It is, most of them are just 2-3 pages, fill in the blanks, unless you're after a big project, you want to start a healthcare system or something like that. You're just looking for money to do stuff. No, that's just a few pages, fill in the blanks, but people think they need a grant because I read about it somewhere or whatever. So they go out and hire a grant writer. And to me, that because you haven't even seen the application, and all of a sudden you're getting a grant writer, it's It's like my favorite thing to say. Well, that's like buying a prom dress before you're invited to the prom. Yeah, let's get you to the prom first. Then you go look for a prom dress. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's it. But that and your college financial aid officer, they get so much money from the government. Like I have a grant I give to a local community college here for single moms that are going back to college. And I got to beat on them to give away the money. You know? Again, the bureaucracies,
Yep.
trying to fit everything in. And it comes and goes. People give money to higher education and they have to give it out. So what you want to do is get on their mailing list or have your daughter visit them once a month to make sure they're not missing something. There may be something for, daughters of people in broadcasting gave them $10,000. And you're not gonna know that, but that's the funnel. See, it's people. You'll never find it on the internet because it's just too much shit you don't know from Shinola. Anyway,
Yeah. Gotcha. Yep.
so you have to rely on people. So that's why in your financial aid office, people come and see it. They know everything that's coming in better than you'll ever find it on the internet unless it's over. Then they'll brag they did it. You wanna get that before they're bragging they gave it away. And that's the kind of another 2 things that a lot of people miss. Also, what is she studying?
Uh, Chemistry.
Oh, shit. Uh, I mean, any of those skills for a woman, the government's hiring people, part-time, full-time, or everything, when they're in school in the summer, whatever. I mean, and those jobs are great because then you get there and they pay for your graduate and all this kind of stuff. To get one of those is the best way is your elected official.
Okay.
So as a student, you're looking for a summer job or a part-time job and actually Trump wants to get more employees out of Washington. So, but only about 20% of government employees are in DC. They're all over the country. Um, so to get a job there, and they're usually good paying jobs. They're not like barista payment. They're good jobs even while you're still in school. Then you're really wired into a job when you graduate and things like that, and you don't have to do that. But that's another opportunity I think that people don't, you know, forget about. They forget about that. And particularly a woman in STEM now is big time.
Right.
Yeah, that's what she is. And so their financial aid office would know about those kinds of things too.
Okay.
And then all the people thing, who you get there, like if somebody is a little cranky and doesn't want to, you come back another day and find somebody else to talk to that stretches. I mean, I remember doing that. I see my personality was my key thing I had, and the nicer I have that, then people, oh yeah, that reminds me talking to you. And they'll go over some drawers and start pulling, I remember some, whatever. And, they're stretching their imagination. We know more than we think we know. But if you're just at the ticket counter and you're just getting A, B, and C, and that's it. What you gotta do is, it's a personality thing to get the D, E, and F stuff. And that's the problem with AI. You'll never see the D, E, and F stuff. AI answer these questions for this simple stuff. And that's why we really need doctors.
So, obviously, I very much appreciate those tips, and I'll be as my daughter comes here on break time for the next semester, I'll be telling her she needs to make new friends in the financial aid office there for the grants and such.
Your state in Austin, the
Yeah,
state office of higher education. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. I just happen to have a planned trip to Austin myself in January,
Well,
but
you could walk into that office, be great. But you get better get on the phone or email or anything like that.
yeah,
Man.
I'm going to the Capitol too, so we'll see. Well,
Oh, you
yeah, I'm actually going to lobby. As I told you before, I'm going to do some lobbying to get him to stop helping us.
that's great.
How can I help you? If you'll please stop helping me, that's how you can help us. But I'll go to the higher education and say, now you can help me.
Right, exactly, right.
All right. So outside of education, let's talk about some of the other grants that may be available for people out there. Obviously, I think one that a number of people would like to hear about. And I touched on it, but it is a big deal. And that is, I want to start a business or I want to do this. You talked about this earlier that, you know, you've got a great idea, but you don't have the money to start that. There are ways to help finance startup
Absolutely.
companies.
Well, and that's another thing. You don't want to start looking for money. The money for business, I mean, there's thousands and thousands of grants for business, all kind of stuff. And if you start at that, I think is wrong, because it's a little complicated and you'll go up a learning curve slowly. And so you want to get the free help. See, in addition to money, what the government it is free mentors to help you find the money for you. That's what you want. So you don't want to go up that learning curve alone to try to understand that monster of all the possibilities. So the government has nonprofit organizations. They spend. They're not government. They're usually separate nonprofit organizations, and the database for that is in the SBA. Now you don't want to talk to SBA people. You want to talk to the people in their database, and you find that by going to sba.gov. If you want to do that, we could do another, and you'll do well on the test if you do this.
Okay.
sba.gov
Mhm.
/ and then all small letters, local assistance.
Okay, there it is. All right.
Okay, there'll be a place there, maybe in the middle of the page, to put in your zip code again.
All right. So, of course, we have their district office.
Right. Did it have a number? How many are local in there?
8.
8. So you have 8 nonprofit organizations, probably within 25 miles, that are there to give you help to start any business, any nonprofit, any invention you have, become a freelancer, to become a real estate investor, an Uber driver if you want, or any problem, and to help any problem, a legal problem, a marketing problem, a financial problem, a personnel problem, technology problem, that they go out and hire the expertise on their nickel to help you.
Yeah, here's one that teaches you how to get government contracts.
Right now, that's better than grants.
Yeah, so here's another one about international trade.
Right.
And then another one here about exporting,
Right.
U.S. export assistance, and technology commercialization, as you were talking about, helping you.
All everything. So go to Google and you're going to find some slick talking salesman. He's going to get $10,000 for this.
Yeah.
And that's what frustrates me. And it's all about, and then to get people to think, no, you don't want to go ask for money. You want to ask for help. Because what happens is a lot of these places don't have grants. Some have grants, some don't. But if you go up and call them ask for a grant, they don't have any, and then you hang up and it's gone. But no, they're golden people to help you find the grants you need.
Right.
They don't have them. So that to me is the place to start. Go to eda.gov. Okay. Now you're looking for regional offices or something, a map up on top, maybe somewhere.
Okay, let's see here.
Local something, maybe.
Programs.
Yeah, if you're looking for local offices, because you'll have a dozen or 2 dozen economic development offices in your state. And they get grants and help, again, like the other one, they want you to start a business. They want you to grow your business. Resources and tools. How's that? You see that up there?
Yes.
Okay, resources and tool. Drop down there.
I got find grant resources.
Okay,
Economic.
the economic development directory is what you want.
Okay.
Okay, you see the maps?
Yep.
Click on.
Okay.
See, they're all the people that are nonprofit and government offices that help businesses start or expand.
Okay.
That's all they do. They never charge you money. They're the people you want to talk to also. And just stay out of Google.
Very good.
Okay. There's one other before we finish the class. Is I'd like you to see, I mean, you maybe know this. It's called needymeds.org. NEEDYMEDS. The second tab on the left, healthcare savings.
All right.
This is a little bit like Find Help, but it's more just for healthcare.
Okay.
So you go down on the left-hand side, all the free prescription drug programs. And they even have people that help you fill out the forms and things like that
Right.
for prescription drug. Below that, free and low cost clinics, medical,
Right.
dental clinics, mental health clinics, etc. Okay. Coupons, I don't know much about that. But the other thing here in the middle, search for savings by diagnosis.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Put in search by diagnosis, and you can put in cancer search programs. Okay, it's going to find all the programs of nonprofit organizations that give money because you have that condition.
Huh.
I mean, it's an incredible source.
Yeah. Wow. When I just chose all cancers, and there's 376
Right.
different organizations across the country.
Exactly. See, I mean, this, and there's also like assistance with medical transportation costs in the middle
Yeah.
thing that summer camps for, and also sponsors, things for teachers and students and all kinds of things in there. It's just amazing to me. I mean, they do a great job on this. That's what I look for, people who are doing the work I should have done. I don't have to do it. Yeah. Media Minutes Discount. Now, there's two organizations, I forget where they are in here, but you may want to look at the people who can't pay their bills. There's two great nonprofit organizations that do one-on-one help to do that.
For their medical bills.
Yeah, and co-pays. They have grants for co-pays.
Okay.
Maybe that doesn't apply to you guys, but one is called patientadvocate.org. They one-on-one manage big bills to people in trouble.
Yeah. It's actually the Patient Advocate Foundation. I mean, it's patientadvocate.org, but it's the Patient Advocate Foundation. Yeah.
Right. That they have financing and also to work with the healthcare system, to beat them on the head if they have to and things like that. Yeah.
Right.
Well, that's cool. The other nonprofit is called panfoundation.org. They help mostly with co-payments. May be interesting for you to know.
Yeah, absolutely.
What else you want money for?
Okay. So instead of me asking that question, what are you finding? What do you find? What have you seen over your years that people are most interested in having money for?
People can't get by. Half this country doesn't have money to pay a $5 bill, a $500 bill.
Right.
And fortunately or unfortunately, our country creates more millionaires than anywhere else in the world. Oh, here it is. This one. We create 24 million millionaires. And the second is China with only 6 million. And Japan has about 3, United Kingdom, 3 million. So we're number one in creating millionaires. But unfortunately, all the developed countries, these are the rich countries, so-called, okay? There's about 30 some of them. We're number one. We're number one in people in poverty in all the developed countries. So that's what I hear, at least from my stuff. People just can't make ends meet. I mean, they're, overdone. And I think this is why, and I'm not an economist, so but I love data.
Yeah.
And this is about wages in our country, where wages are, how much that's the economy. wages. So back in 1980, that's about when I was starting my life or whatever, the bottom 90% of us was getting 70% of all the wages. So 90% of the people in 1980 were getting 70% of all the wages. The top 10% were getting 30% in 1980 of all the wages. Okay, fast forward to 23, this is what's happening. So they're getting a smaller piece of the pie. They're getting a bigger piece of the pie. Why? That's debatable.
Yeah.
Whatever. But people, I think that's why the people are, they just see their life shrinking, the average person here, and don't know what to do about it. And that's what I'm trying to do, is show them options. And I think what's best for all that is like job training. I mean, now Biden threw so much goddamn money into job training. It's crazy. Now you can get paid $40,000 a year to get trained for a $100,000 a year job. Not go to college and you pay them $40,000 a year. They pay you because we need these skills workers. If you don't have the skills, you're not going to get a good job. And this is, it's things like that. I'm trying to get people, but they're fighting. I mean, I'm reading books on poverty, and it says that, when you're fighting poverty, man, it's sort of like every day you didn't sleep that night. You know what I mean? So you're never thinking, because you have a fire drill every second. You're you're trying to make so many things happen, and you have no money to make anything happen. So you just put out the current flame and hope nothing happens soon, and it will. And I don't know how to solve that, but to at least show people the stuff that's there that may be of help, and they have to try that.
Right. And so talk a little bit about that. What are some of the easiest or most fundamental steps people can take there? Yeah, it's unfortunate, but people even that find themselves in difficult situations, you kind of mentioned this a little bit earlier, there's work to be done, right? I mean, if you really want this, then you've got to advocate, you've got to make the calls, you've got to take the steps. But sometimes somebody needs just that taste of success that was a little bit easier, maybe, to keep going. What's kind of a
Shallow end of the pool.
yeah. What is the shallow end of the pool to give someone that taste of success so that they're willing to jump in that deep end?
Here it is, I think, anyway, and it's probably different for different situations. If it's for job and careers, it's careeronestop.org. They have counselors there to help you get trained for anything, to help you find money to live on while you're training and all this stuff. So it's careeronestop.org. You put your zip code in there again and make an appointment. It's all about making an appointment, not finding the magic application to find out, because you don't know what that is. And you have to have people who know this stuff to do it. The other thing is, because everybody's financial, so they have debt to worry about, credit card and everything, is don't go to Google to solve that problem. You go to HUD.gov/counseling. These are counselors every place in the country. There'll be a dozen in your area where you live. You make an appointment for them to somebody to get an overview of how screwed up you really are and what can be done first, second, third, and things like that. They're here just sort of just sort of fire hose when a fire happens, instead of, you know, uh, something a little more substantial that stop more fires. And so they could get your creditors to pay and get that pressure off your back, because you carry that. I mean, I think this is what makes people sick. They're worried about all these bills. They can't pay this shit. And that has to deal with the insides of you, in some way or another, and make you sick. You don't even realize it because it's not bleeding. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt about it that stress, which this is a very high level of stress, causes multiple different ailments, causes multiple different physical things to break down.
So that's right. To me, sitting down with somebody who's seen 100 people like you. I mean, you're not new. We think it's new, and we're the only person in.
Right.
I mean, that trouble. So somebody sees 100 people like you today, could relieve it. Yeah, people get through this, and
Yeah.
to be able to comfort in some way, even though they're not going to write a big check and solve all your problems, but to work it out so you could follow something that is important
Right.
to.
To give you a roadmap, because you don't have one right now, right? You're just, yeah, you're just lost, and you think, well, yeah, I think it's an interesting human condition that we have, that we think we're the only ones that are going through this. And then you sit down and you talk to someone, yeah, and they say, man, pretty good seeing the last guy. Like, what? Thought I was the worst one you'd ever have heard of. Like, man, I see 10 worse than you every single day, right? Uh, and they're not even telling you that to make you feel better. They're telling you that because they see it all, right? They see it every single day. Uh, and there's something to be said for that, because for someone who's helping people all the time and that's their focus is to help you, whatever you're telling them is not going to just knock them off their feet and say, well, nothing new for you, buddy. Yeah, you've screwed up so bad, there's just nothing we can do.
Call me back when you're out of jail.
Uh, but I think but we don't like to ask for help, do we?
Right, exactly. Well, we think we're strong, but we don't know shit. The world's so complicated. We can't know this stuff.
Yeah,
And we make
exactly.
decisions on the little information we have, which, yeah, that's why businesses go out of business. The world changes and they haven't.
No, that's exactly right. That's exactly right. You know, we've always done it this way,
Right.
only worked for so long.
So, if horses could vote, they probably wouldn't have cars, right?
I mean, that is a cautionary tale. In 19 I can't remember the exact date, but let's just say 1905, somewhere around in that area, 25% of the country's economy revolved around the horses, the care of horses, the breeding of horses, all of those different things. And
We had a good libel too.
yeah, 25 years later, it was there was almost nothing. It was, there's almost none of the economy revolved around that whatsoever. So it is interesting how something like that can change so dramatically that there was no way you could have convinced anyone in that industry that 25 years later, all of this is part of our economy, that it'll just be gone.
And things change so much faster now.
Yes.
So maybe before I'll die before this changes. Fuck it. And I'm living long, man. That's what I find at 80. Man, it took me many years to find out how to make money again off of this stuff I have, and because nobody bought reference books anymore. And they thought everything was on the internet. They don't need anybody. And it took me a while, and now I have the best thing I've ever had in my life. I help more people now through a community. That's how people learn, is through a community. They help each other. 22,000 people helping each other get grants, not me. When I first started with it, and I didn't know what I was doing when I first started, I said, well, maybe I could get a subscription somehow and get my rent paid. And then all of a sudden, people were helping people, and they love it. Yeah. And so instead of having to build and hire a staff, no, the members are helping each other. But
Yeah.
also, and I thought I used to do this kind of stuff, but I used to charge thousands of dollars for rich people. But I didn't want to do that. I wanted to have the people who didn't have money. I want to get them the money. So I wanted to charge $20. And I figured out, and everybody told me, no, I have to charge at least $500 a month, not $20 a month. And I want to do it, tried it. And it's doing so well. We give out, and we're a small little company. We give out $70,000 in grants to members every month of our profit. We pay ourselves first, then we give the profit back to members. And 70,000, I thought it had to be Jeff Bezos or somebody to do something like that. But now a little schmuck like me, that a little business, we're able to do that. And that's, you're selling a service, but this is air. I'm an old time factory guy, and cost of goods sold and everything. I got no cost of goods sold.
Yeah.
I got no shipping. I got no nothing. When I was selling books, man, It took me $40 to process an order.
Well, and so let's talk about that. But you did sell a lot of books. You sold over 4 million books through your career. So it's not like the information that you have had over your lifetime is useless information, right? This is not right. You wouldn't have sold that many books if people weren't interested in what you were sharing.
No.
What you had to figure out was that the way you share it has changed.
The media, the market, the customer, how they're getting information has changed. That whole environment. I can't make money on infomercials anymore and things like that. And when they're selling books, I had to figure out a way, to get income and to me, the most important, how will people pay for this?
Right.
How will they pay? And that's a mystery. It took me years to figure out. And I just stumble into it. It's like, I look smart now, but I had no fucking idea.
Well, let's talk a little bit about the community because I know that part of what obviously you would like some of the folks watching today is to join that community. Um,
Oh, wait a minute. No, our accountant, actually, I was talking to him yesterday. We have too much sales now. And so they have, no, in Tuesday.
I'm sorry, the community is closed. No, nobody new coming in. We're a closed community now. Matthew just came on today to taunt us. He gave you a few links, but he doesn't allow you to actually get to the people who really have the magic now. Sorry. Magic Money School is now closed. Well, talk about this community because I think it's very interesting that you have this large community of people now that, in essence, what they originally did is they came looking for some guidance, but now have transitioned to a certain degree where they still want that guidance. They still are doing that, but they're helping others find that by sharing their stories and sharing their successes and the things that they did as well. So talk a little bit about that and kind of was that what you originally intended, or did it take a life of its own?
It took a life of its own. I had no idea. I didn't think people do that. But it showed me, and one of it I see in retrospect now, after we've been doing it about a year or so, is that they enjoy helping people. I mean, the same enjoyment I get, I would do this without making money. It's just so gratifying to help people. And I think that's what we're here in life to do.
Sure, I agree.
And so to have an opportunity to help people, and I also see that they're better than me in helping people because I've been saying this stuff for 50 years, and these people are just 2 months ago, they got their first grant. They're so excited about it. So they're a better, and they know what that person is thinking more than I will ever know.
Right.
I'm trying to think of what I thought of 50 years ago.
Yeah.
At my age, yesterday is tough. For them, they're the best spokespeople I could have. I mean, and we have videos, maybe Zoom calls, 3-4 hours every day of members who are just answering questions from other members or teaching them stuff about credit repair and where the sources are for that. Or we have a new member who's teaching how to find grants using AI and stuff like that. So it's yeah, it just, yeah, it just may last without me.
Can continue to grow and thrive as a legacy. That would be an amazing thing.
I would. I mean, I don't really care. If I'm not here, I don't give a shit. Yeah.
Well, I understand, but that legacy of a community you built helping each other, if you're not here anymore, maybe you don't care, but it certainly would have been something that the folks that could continue it on would
And also, what I'm using a lot now is love. I don't know about you, but I'm 81, and this last couple of years, the first time I start using the word. I mean, growing up male, at least in my generation, if you used the word love, that's somebody married. And it was so difficult. But even saying the word now, it opens my heart somehow. The joy you get from helping somebody, actually, even saying the word love to somebody does that to your heart somehow. I mean, I'm not a scientist. I have no idea what I'm talking about. This is what I feel. And it's
Can't explain it medically, but you know what it feels like, right?
what happened. I'm not smart enough to do any of that. Yeah. But that, and then other people are helping people like that, non-judgmental helping. And I think that's what love is helping people do whatever they want to do. And you help them find the tools or whatever what they want, not to tell them what to do in life. None of us know what to do in life. We're all guessing our ass off. We don't know. So what gives me the audacity to tell somebody else what to do or their life when every day I'm trying to figure that out 24/7 myself?
Sure.
So I think our mission is really to help other people find help to do what they want to do, because that's the way you only learn. Sure, it may be bad or anything, but not bad to other people, but may not be the right thing, but they have to learn themselves. It's like teaching somebody to walk. A kid has to fall on his ass 100 times before he starts to walk. And because if you say, "Oh, don't do that, you're going to fall," he'll never learn to walk.
He'll never learn to walk. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
So everything we do, there's always bad parts. And so your loved ones, to me, could be your worst enemy because don't do that, you fail. And you have to say, yes, I know, but that's important.
Yeah. No, I mean that is an entrepreneur's worst nightmare. Is family telling them don't do it.
Exactly.
I have a great father. He very supportive my entire life and everything that I did until after 19 years in corporate America. Corporate America decided they didn't want me anymore, and instead of going to find another job, my wife and I started our own business. And my dad just couldn't get it. He's like, "What are you doing? I mean, what makes you think that you can go out there and just start a business and not have a 401k and not have a salary every single, 2 weeks, you're not getting paid every two. I mean, how are you going to make it? What are you going to do?" Um, that was, in 2006, and we're still plugging along now. So I guess we're doing okay. He'll still say that he wasn't built for that, but he can definitely see that I was. Uh, but
Me,
he's after we got going, he supported it. He just didn't understand it because it was nothing he had ever
my brother died.
or thought of, right? Or wasn't built for it. So it's a very interesting deal there.
We all have to learn to listen to our heart. And that's where that comes from, I think. Like you knew you had to do this with all the obstacles. And if your heart wasn't in it, you wouldn't get through the obstacles.
That's right. I mean, I knew the main thing I didn't want to do is work for anybody else anymore.
Absolutely.
And once I had decided that, there was really only one other option then, right?
There is no going back, doctor.
Although I don't know that it worked out too well for me because I've been working with my wife most of those years, and so right away, there I am working for somebody else again.
Oh, well, that's not always happen. Oh, even if you weren't very
But that is one of the funny things I do get asked about is people just have a hard time understanding how my wife and I can work together. Um, I guess because we just do. I don't know. We've been together for 33 years or been married for 33 years, been together for 38 years, but we're now in business together again, but we've run two pretty successful businesses together, and we're very different management styles, very different ideas about stuff. We just make it work somehow, some way. It's not always peaceful around the picket house.
Oh, we're human too. Yeah.
Yep, that's right. We both we're both stubborn and want to have our own way. So that's not a good recipe right there, but we do make it work. Well, man, I've really enjoyed speaking with you. I think folks, you need to go You heard some of the websites. You can go out and check out stuff on your own. But if you are interested in really digging deep in this subject, you certainly want to go out and check out the community. That you can find at www.free, that's right, F-R-E-E, free dot Lesko, Lesko.com. He has a lot of information on that site as well, including some of his, of course, past endeavors in different TV shows and things that he has done. Got a pretty cool video in front of the Washington Monument as well. And I can tell that that was actually recorded a while back, because in that video, you were only giving away $40,000 a month to your members. And now you're up to 70. So you need to redo your video, buddy, because it is, you're increasing that give out to your community, man. You don't want people to be thinking that you're holding back on them.
The other thing is the free.lesco. I think that'll get there, but the direct link is findhelp.com. Find No, not lescohelp.com. That find help.
Let's just help. Okay, let's go help.
Yeah, that's good. Well, no, it's great. Nice to hear about your work. And before we went live, and that was always enjoyable. The world changes, and it's people, small entrepreneurs like you, that are changing it, because the dinosaurs can't change.
Well, the dinosaurs got rich not changing, right? That's what happened. They got rich not changing and taking advantage of people, and we want to do just the opposite. Well, we're already doing really good at not getting rich, so
Well, you got that down. Good.
we have got that down. We're helping a lot of people, but we're also not getting rich. So you know what? We're doing exactly the opposite perfectly.
But that's what we are as humans, I think. It's more you're waking up every day, giving as much as you can to something you believe in, man. What could be better than that?
I agree with you 100%. It doesn't take people at all long to figure out what my why is, just like I know it doesn't take people long to figure out what your why is. It's amazing when you find the right thing that you know you were meant to do, what you were put on this earth by the Lord to do, man, how dynamic you can be in it and how passionate you can be about it.
I think that's something is, I mean, everybody wants an easy job. No, fun is working hard.
Yeah.
I mean, like I'm thinking, well, would you enjoy playing basketball against a 5-year-old? That'll be easy and you'd win, right? But you wouldn't be growing. You wouldn't learn anything.
And it's not fun, right? It really isn't. It really is. Where is the fun in that at all? Right? But you're right, and you don't grow. You learn nothing, you don't grow.
And as an organic being, we have to keep growing.
Yeah. And if you do enjoy slam dunking and beating a 5-year-old, shame on you. What the hell's wrong with you? Come on, man. We might have had a couple of people out there going, what do you mean it's not fun? I mean,
Well, we'll see them in jail somewhere.
well, Matthew, man, I really appreciate your time. I wish you all the best in the future. And folks, don't forget, go out there. Let's go help, right? That's it. That's a quick way. Let's go help.com. All right, buddy. Appreciate it, man. You know, this episode will be coming up right before Christmas time here, whenever it's released. So we do want to wish everyone a wonderful rest of the holidays and a happy new year. We'll catch you next time on the Health and Well Power. We are out of here.